What's going on, guys? So just got the new radio in for my Honda Civic Si. I've been wanting an Android unit just because of the whole like downloading apps with my car. I want to use the Honda, maybe YouTube, whatever. Like, just I love the idea of it. You can just do anything on there, Apple Carplay, all that. So I didn't want this big of a screen. I wanted a smaller one, but like, I just don't like how bulky this thing is when it sticks out in the car. It just, to me, it looks like a Tesla, and I didn't really like that look. But I mean, for the price and everything, I couldn't find what I was looking for. So this is the one that I got off of eBay. It's not really like a name brand one when I see other people buy them, because the other ones are like $400 or $500. So this came to like $230, probably after taxes and shipping. But just everything about it seems good. I mean, I tried making sure it was like a 8-core processor, make sure it's fast so it doesn't slow down and everything. But it's got the 4G, so you can put like SD card in it. You can connect it to Wi-Fi, the radio, Apple CarPlay, built-in DSP for the audio, obviously Bluetooth. You can connect like probably an Xbox and stuff with all the extra cords. But yeah, so this is basically what comes in the package. You gotta assemble it, put it together, all the wires. The other wires are already connected on here. And this one seems pretty easy, at least for my car. So I'm running aftermarket like amplifier for all the speakers and the subwoofer. So this would be your normal cord, and then you have to splice everything in. But I literally don't even need these. I just need like the RCAs, and this right here will be your main power cord. And this is just gonna plug in for a Honda, the OEM plugs for a Honda, your antenna. And once this goes in, it should have the power for everything. And like I said, I don't need it for the regular speakers. And you got your GPS. This is your microphone. And on here, there's basically several plugins, and they like label everything. So this is like your camera output. You got one of the, well, these are 2 USBs. I think for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Then we got your rear output for your speakers. So since I'm running that amp, I'm gonna be using these, plugging all the, I think I have like 3 sets of RCAs, the front, rear, and then subwoofer. And then these are like your video outputs, I guess if you were to connect some type of DVR or Xbox, stuff like that. But I imagine with the apps, you could probably download the Xbox app and do the whole like Bluetooth thing, and it'll display it. I'm gonna actually give that a try when I get it all going. Antenna, there's your front out, aux. So literally everything plugs in. The only thing is there's one missing, and I don't know what's supposed to go there because there's like no instructions with this model. Over here, your Wi-Fi, so it should just pick up the signal from there. Got your, what is that? The GPS, 4G, and then over here is your SIM slot. So I guess if you had an extra SIM card from your carrier, you could put that in, and this thing will have internet all the time versus using a hotspot or trying to find Wi-Fi. So it's gonna get installed in here, screwed in, and then you gotta take your factory controls, put them in here, factory vent. So yeah, I gotta get all that installed and give her a test, see if it works. So I already didn't have a radio in here, and that's because when my car was down and I was working on it, I ended up putting the radio from here. It was like a touchscreen Apple CarPlay. I put it in an Acura TL that I had, and then never bought another radio. So a little bit easier for me. I don't even have to unplug anything, but I have to get this piece out to get all the controls, the vent. So normally, like, you can pry on certain ends of these, but mine, I've been doing it like so much that sometimes I could just pull on this piece and it'll really pop up. Or if I could just get my finger behind it, or probably from right here too. Yeah. so I have a little bit of leverage since there's already no radio. And then these two pieces separate, and I think this one you have to lift up before. Yep, so this one's out of the way, and then now this one comes out. And for me, I just have to unplug the AC controls, and then I'll bring it inside. It'd be a lot easier if I had a tripod. Alright, so now that's out, we can go inside. Alright, so there's just a few screws holding each one of these things in. It looks like OEM, well, not OEM, but this piece, it actually had the slot for the airbag, and this one doesn't, but it's not really a big deal. I mean, I don't really look at that anyway. So I just got the vent in, hazard, all the controls. Like I said, just the screws on the back, the bigger screws. And then these do pop off, so you just gotta take like a flat head under it, pop it off, and then this will drop down to the bottom. All right, so got it all installed now. There's just a few screws on the back to get it to sit in there. All the wires. So now I'm ready to go over to the car and install it. Okay guys, so radio has been in here for a while now. I basically been testing it, never got back to filming this. At first, my aftermarket amp wasn't working, so I didn't even have audio, but everything's fixed now. Radio works pretty good. So far, thing works pretty fast. I've seen a lot of videos online or other people with these radios, and they start to like slow down. But that's why I did my research, made sure to get one with a good processor. This is like 8-core processor, I think it was. So everything's been pretty good. I mean, steering controls are working right now. You can literally set these up to whatever you want when you go under control. And you can program. Right now I just do the volume up and down. But software seems to be pretty good. You can do the Bluetooth, the whole phone thing. I don't really use the regular Bluetooth. I just like the Apple Carplay. Decent amount of settings in here. Like screen brightness. The GPS I don't have hooked up. You can run the wire and then tuck it somewhere over here so that if you were to use the regular maps, it would work. But like I said, I just like using the Apple CarPlay. So this actually works pretty good. You can do wired, or this actually is a wireless Apple CarPlay. I didn't know that. My Bluetooth was set up the one day and it started working. So if you guys are familiar with Apple CarPlay, I mean, it works with maps, your music. It has a set of apps on here from your iPhone. Of course, it disconnected, so now I gotta wait. So, like I said, it has some of your apps on here. And it's honestly pretty convenient. But, yeah, so that's something in its own feature. Your radio is working. It just, sometimes it's staticky for me. I don't know if I did the antenna, if I did it wrong or something. Let's see, you got your clock, be your music. If my GPS was set up, this would work. And then it's got its apps. CarLink would be your Apple CarPlay, equalizer. So with the music, I have all these different settings. I already played with them. Google, your Play Store, so you can really download apps. So like I downloaded Hondata. I'll show you guys that in a second for anyone with like SIs, the whole Honda setup. YouTube, when you're near Wi-Fi, works awesome. You can even play Xbox on here if you're familiar with the like streaming. So my Xbox can be in the house if that's on Wi-Fi and this is on Wi-Fi. I literally can connect a controller to this. I already tried it and it works. Like I said, it had to be on Wi-Fi for it to actually work. So like I said, the Play Store, you can download whatever apps you want. You can even download a different launcher so that this setup looks a little bit different. There's like more car oriented ones. Like I said, your Bluetooth, these are just preset apps. So if you guys want to see the Honda, I have always used this on my phone, and this works off of Bluetooth. My Honda is plugged into OBD, so it reads stuff from the car. So if I turn the car on, alright, so now it's working. This is like one of the setups that I have that I can read stuff, but if I hit the gas, I mean, you can see it works. It's actually pretty accurate. Like there's check engine lights, so many different things. Like this is not this one, we got this one, RPM, and this thing works pretty good. Pretty accurate if you were to use this just driving down the road. On this screen there's like a shift light setup, so when I hit a certain RPM the whole screen flashes. So like I have 2 other gauges over here, and then now I got even more if I want to read everything, if I was going to the track, whatever. So like that's what I really liked having the radio for, because at first I had a tablet down here with that loaded up, but now this is all in one. Like I got the radio, I got Apple Carplay, I got any app I want, and then the Honda, like it's just a plus. And this radio was like 230 bucks. So like I said, you really can't beat this. I think it's a good deal. I just wasn't really a fan of how much this radio sticks out. It just looks like a Tesla to me. But so far, I think it's a win. I haven't had a radio in this car for a long time, so now we're back in business. But I'll put the link in the description for this. Any other questions? Behind the radio, it was kind of just plug and play with all those wires. Like I said, I already had a cord running out of here, so I ran this into the Apple CarPlay one. And then if you have Android Auto, you would use that cord. Like I said, there's the GPS, there's the microphone. I didn't even set the microphone up. I just talk through my phone. I don't really like using that. But I think that's it so far. I mean, you literally could just play around with this and just figure out what the radio offers. Android operated system, I like them as long as they run fast. But yep, that's it for now, guys. Any questions, drop a comment below.